Very good. Please, at the end of the day, I want people to transport my own chicken that I will enjoy with everyone. Okay. Let me share my screen. Who can tell us where we stopped on Tuesday? Use the chat board, please. Where did we stop on Tuesday? Where did we stop on Tuesday? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma. Your screen is showing.
ma.
All right. Okay. Before we start, in my own class, we used to do what we call recap. Go through what we have studied so far. And now 3 people, to just run us through a recap of what we have done so far. And when the first person starts speaking, the second person will pick up, but don't repeat what another person has already said. So we just want 3 people. If I call your name, you unmute yourself and you talk. All right. Ngozi, please go ahead. Ngozi, you are free to go ahead. You can unmute yourself and talk. Maybe she's experiencing network problem. Okay, Khalid. Khalid, you are free to unmute yourself and talk.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning. How
Happy
are you
Independence.
today?
I'm fine,
I
ma.
wish you the same.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us.
In our previous class, we discussed about record keeping, the definition of record keeping as the systematic process of documenting every aspect of business, organic agribusiness to be specific, from planting a seed to selling it final product. The 2 reasons for record keeping in organic agribusiness that include profitability or business management. That's the first one. Under the record, and then the second one is organic integrity and certification. Getting trust from the consumers of the product and getting certified by the body involved. Then the fundamentals of record keeping for organic business that include organic certification and compliance. The second one, business management and profitability. The third one, building consumer trust and market values. Should I stop here or give another speaker the chance to continue from where I stop?
Okay, you can, or you can continue.
Should I explain every bit of it, every part of what I just mentioned, the fundamentals of record keeping in organic business?
Yes. So that after explaining, the next person will pick up from where you stopped.
Okay, the first one is organic certification that include proof of adherence, in which organic certification bodies requires vigorous documentation to verify that a farm is following all organic standards. All inputs, crop management, livestock management, field history, traceability, audit readiness. That's under that organic certification. These are some some things under that organic certification that need to be put into consideration. Then the second one, business management and profitability, financial health management, knowing how financial health management, knowing how managing the health condition, making sure that that product is not a threat to the health of the consumer. Then tracking income, knowing exactly how much revenue each crop or product generates. Monitoring expenses, detailing all costs of seed, organic fertilizers, labor, equipment, maintenance. That's under that money. Under the business, I'm explaining under the business management and profitability. Then the profitability analysis, all under the business management, comparing income and expenses, so as to accurately calculate the profit margins for different products or activities. Then for operational efficiency, using less input to get high output. That is minimization of losses and reduction of wastage, making sure that the input used will yield high output. Then yield analysis, recording yields per field or per crop. Then the resource management, all under this business management. Resource management, tracking inputs like water, fertilizers, and labor. Then decision making, comprehensive records provide data needed to make informed business decisions. Then problem solving, when issue arise, the detailed records can help pinpoint the cause and prevent reoccurrence, making sure that the producer troubleshoot all problems related to that business. Then the third one is building consumer trust and market value. Brand integrity, trusting integrity, trusting integrity make our consumer to pay premium price. If the consumers trust a product, they'll be willing to pay a premium price because they are health conscious and they think that product is safe for them, is safe to them, is not a health threat product. Then market access, the proof of organic certification and traceability is what buyers, retailers, and food processors, and which are directly supported by through record keeping. If you keep record of your organic certification, if you keep a record of your organic certification, even you have access to the market, different people will be willing to buy from you. So I think I will stop here for the next speaker to take over with types of record keeping in organic agribusiness. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. That was awesome.
Thank you, Ma.
Done well. You're welcome there. Okay, can we hear from Ngozi? Ngozi, are you ready to talk now? Ngozi, are you still with us? Who else wants to give us a recap? Remember that this is an interactive class and we are watching and noting the people who are contributing to what we are doing here. We don't want passive participation. We want you to talk. When we want to assess, this is part of your assessment. So I need more hands.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. Sorry for the first time. I was not able to unmute.
Okay, no problem. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, ma. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay, in our last class,
Start from where the last speaker stopped.
in our last class, we discussed from on a scale to 0 to 10, how can we possibly said we track our logistic being delivered to our customers, our goods being delivered to our customers. And a lot of us give instances of 8, a lot of us give 5, a lot of us give 10, and one of our course mates, Mohammed, also give us how he tracks his own through an intent using a receipt, track it from where when the goods leave and to the next place it is being converted. And also you also teach us how to make decomposition manual on ourselves. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing you. Go ahead, we are hearing you. It's like she's having network problem. Who else want to talk? Who else wants to talk? We are waiting. We've lost Ngozi. Maybe her network is not complying. Nobody else wants to talk? Wow, what's happening to the class today? Hmm? Okay, since nobody else wants to talk, maybe we'll go ahead. We talked about types of record. Does anybody else want to talk? Nobody. Okay, we talked about the types of record. We said we have several types of record depending on what you are working on, the activity, your area, wherever you find yourself in the value chain. We have the farm record, we have the input record, all the inputs that we use in your farm through seed, the activities, like Khalid has explained during a recap, the map of the farm, whether you are complying with organic standard, the buffer zone, whether you are implementing it. And today, we want to look at the production and harvest record. But before then, I would like every one of us here, all the participants, to write down 3 things that you will do if you are to start your record keeping next week. Write down 3 things you are to do. Like I said, I will not be the only one talking. And every one of you must write down 3 things you are to do if you are to start your record keeping next week. Write them down, we'll come back to it, please. And if I forget about it, remind me, one person or anybody can remind me about it. You will have to submit it. 3 things you have to do if you are to start your record keeping next week. Okay, moving on. We are in number 3 now. We are talking about the production farm records. We have production and harvest records. We've talked about the field and land records. We talked about the input records. We now want to talk about production and harvest records. When you're talking about, remember the end goal, our objectives for keeping all these records, like Khalid has mentioned, for certification, profitability, and our business management. As a business person, we are talking about agripreneur, organic agripreneur. As a business person, you need to keep your record to know whether you are making profits or you're not making profits, or whether you are keeping to organic standard. You are maintaining your organic integrity. So now we want to talk about production and harvest records. Under production and harvest, you talk about planting records, details of what you have planted, the particular field. We talked about diversification, diversifying your activities, your businesses to manage risk. So you may decide to have different plots, or you plant the crops, if you're a farmer, if you're a crop farmer, on the same field, then you allocate portions for each one. You can say field 1, field 2, field 3 for each particular crop crop production that you want to go into. You number them. So you record what you have planted in each particular area, a particular field, and the dates you planted such crops and the source of the seedling. It's very, very important during certification process, because they want to know the source of your supplier, where you got your seeds or seedlings from, whether the person is adhering to organic standard also. Then you have a record about all the activities, farm activities that you carry out daily or weekly on your farm, including cultivation, how you started preparing your land preparation, the what you did during that. For organic farming, we don't burn our land. We don't burn it. So when you clear the land, how did you prepare your soil? It starts from soil testing to find out, like we said last Tuesday, you carry out a test to find out the nutrients that are deficient in your soil, so that you will know the kind of nutrients that you include. And you don't boil, so that you will not kill the microfauna, the ecosystem. You want to encourage the activities of all the microfauna or the microorganisms that are in the ecosystem. If you look at our farms now, if you go to our conventional farms now, you hardly find butterflies flying around. You hardly find earthworms in our farms, because the chemicals that we are using in our conventional farms have destroyed the soil, the texture and everything. And all these natural microorganisms that will help to aerate the soil and even help our crops to do well, they are becoming extinct. You can hardly find them. Now you talk about weeding. What is your method of weeding? In organic farming, we don't use herbicides. We prefer using manual weeding. You employ laborers that will help you to uproot the weeds. Then mowing, what you use in your farm to reach the farm, to prepare the mounds and everything, the beds. Pest monitoring, very, very important. The type of pests that are affecting your crop, depending on the particular crop that you have planted, the type of pests and what you are using to combat the pest infestation, and any other observation that you may find in your farm. They talk about harvest, you document the harvest dates. When you're talking about harvest, you go to the farm, the date you harvested the first crop, the first batch, and you have to allot a number. Remember, in organic agriculture, we talk about traceability, tracing the crop from the consumer back to the farm, to the soil, even to the seed. So for each batch, you allot a number. You can give it a number, then maybe A1. The next batch of harvesting, you number it, you give it a number, A2, just like that. Then the quantity harvested from each field, you need to note them down. Why is it important? So that when you are doing your mass auditing, we are coming there, mass audits. I will explain better as time goes on about mass audit. The quantity that you have used, quantity of input you have used, the expected yield, and the actual yield you have gotten. And at the end, how much you sold out of that. When we get to traceability certification, we will explain more on that from each field or batch, and the lot number have said that for traceability. Now you have to record information on how and where organic products are stored. Very, very important. You may say, you are in a hurry, you go and just dump your products or outputs together with where the conventional goods are. No, it can be contaminated. So we need a record of where you stored all your goods, so that we know whether you are actually adhering to organic standard. Now, the fourth one is financial record. Very, very important. When we're talking about business management and profitability, you need to have income record and expense record. What are these income records? The invoices detailing the quantities of goods you have sold, the prices, and the customers or buyers of these organic products. Yes, you need to find out for traceability's sake. You need to know your customers, the consumers who are patronizing your business. This creates a direct link from production to the market and adds traceability. Now, for the expense records, that is the cost of the input, what you use to produce your crops, all the inputs you use, including cost for seed, equipment, labor, manual labor, and so on. And you know, for you to help yourself also, you need to pay yourself for accountability's sake. Even as the entrepreneur, you need to allot a particular money to yourself so that you'll be able to know whether really, actually, that you are really making profit as you claim. Okay, the fifth one is livestock records. This applies for people who are into livestock production. You have to keep records for your feed, document all the feed, the supplements, and that you have purchased or you produce by yourself. Remember, in organic farming, we don't use vaccines, all these vaccines, drugs. We don't use drugs. Whatever we are using, we'll get it from natural means. I mentioned last week, you can use bitter leaf water. Even the bitter leaf itself, you mix it with your feed, charcoal to check, activated charcoal to check diarrhea in them. And even as antibiotics, you can use garlic. You mix garlic, scent leaf, you know, and whatever you are using, you must document them. The quantity you used, the quantity you, whether it's raw or you mix it with your drinking water, the quantity that you use, the measurements, you must record them, ensuring that they are certified organic. Then you also have the log of all health events. You know, you will have for example, in poultry production, we have what we call Newcastle, coccidiosis, you know, maybe diarrhea. You record all the treatments that you give them, how you administered all the substances that you prepared, and the preventive measure, care measures that you're applying on that farm. You know, we preach prevention is better than cure. You know, when you have a good management practice, you clean the place regularly, you make sure that even around things that will contaminate your farm, they are not seen around your farm. It's better than trying to come and give them drug, maybe for any particular disease that they may have come down with. Then you talk about breeding records, you talk about the breeding activities, maybe the source of your chicks, if you're a poultry farmer, or you are hatching them by yourself, the environment, the hatchery equipment you are using, the environment, and the source of maybe the day-old chicks. You document them, their birth dates, their parentage, where they are coming from. And this will help you to know whether they are genetically modified. Like now, we are preaching against GMOs. You know, when you know the source, you know whether the person is complying with organic standards. Talk about pasture and outdoor access record, documentation of pasture rotations. Yes, you may say that maybe you take your, for instance, people that are they are rearing cows, cattle. You may say, okay, the pastures, where you are taking them to. Most times, you know, people fumigate around their houses or their farms. You have to find out whether where you are taking them to has been contaminated. You only go to pastures that are free from contamination, from chemicals. Handling and processing records, very, very important. If you are to process your products, you know, to add value to them, which is very, very important. Most times, if you just sell your raw goods, you are making money for the middlemen. They come to the farm, buy the raw in the raw state. When they add value to it, it will fetch higher prices for them. At the end, monkey the walk, babu the chop. I know it's not what we want for our businesses. So under processing, you must keep record on all the organic ingredients that you used in your processing, the processing steps, the measures you have taken to prevent contamination. And when you're talking about processing in organic agriculture, talk about sun drying, then the natural process, fermentation, for people who are involved in fermentation process. You can use beneficial microorganisms. Nowadays, we are hearing stories where people use hypo to aid fermentation, to hasten fermentation for fufu production. That is wickedness. How can a human being, what you are producing for other people to eat? And you find out I saw a documentary. Somebody went and interviewed some people. And you find out that people who are using this hypo to produce this fufu, or fufu, for people to eat, they don't eat it. That particular one they produce to sell, they don't consume it. They go to people that don't use it because they know them. They know the people that don't use hypo. They go and purchase from them for their own family, for their own consumption. So we should not imbibe such practices. It is very, very bad. Some people do smoking, the smoking can serve as a natural repellent and preservative for stored goods because of the smell that it emits. You can also incorporate small quantities of natural oils, such as nut oils. It can also protect grains from pests. We have natural preservation, people that some of the grains, instead of removing the backs, the back of the grains, you just sun dry them that way and store them in cool and dry them under the sun to prevent. For instance, now we are what do you call it now? Onion boom. The prices of onion are coming down for wet season onion. But you find that if you put them in a place that has high humidity, it will start going bad. So you need to put them in some things that will help air to pass through them. For instance, you use baskets. This basket they use to sell tomatoes. You can put them inside it, or these crates that they also use to sell tomatoes. You put them, making sure that air passes through them. It will also help to preserve them. Then labeling a record. Documentation showing that organic claims on labels are truthful. Yes, when you say that you are selling organic, your products are organically produced, you farm them organically. There must be a proof. And how can you get that proof? Through your records. Now, if I see a product, say, are you sure? All these things people are claiming. Are you sure that your product is really produced organically? You say yes. Just bring out your phone, or if you have your record by your side, you just show them, see the proof. So once anybody sees that organic, your product and see the organic, like in one, we have our logo now. If you see that logo, BGS certified, if you see that logo, and we bring out your certificate showing that yes, and you know that your certificate and your record, they will show the records of all the activities that you have done in your farm. It will now build trust and confidence. It will now convince whoever, the customer or the consumer or whoever that wants to buy from you, that truly this your labeling is in line, that you are being truthful about what you are doing. Okay, and all this I've been talking theory. Now we want to look at how all these records, the record, how they will look like, the input logs, the organic input log. This is are you seeing my screen? Hello, are you seeing my screen? Can we hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can see your screen, ma'am.
All right, okay. This is an example.
Hello, ma'am, we can see your screen, ma'am.
Okay, I can hear you. Thank you so much. This is how a record, an input record looks like, when you want to present your farm production, and this is how example of how it looks like. This is, will I say, a hypothetical figure, but it gives you an idea of what you need to do. In your record, if you are using, we'll get there, if you are using notebooks, if you are using ledgers, have you heard about ledger? Just gives me a thumbs up. Have you heard about ledgers, binders? If you go to a bookstore and ask them to show you a ledger is a book that has sections, line, rule, different colors, indicating you can use it to store your records. You have the columns and you have the rows. Now, for your record keeping, for it to be easy for you, you will use the first column. You use it as the headings, what you want to talk about, what you want to record. You remember when we were talking about all the inputs or your activities on the farm, the date you planted whatever, the date you bought the seed, the date you weeded the farm, and so on. So all the headings will now be on a horizontal form. The first cell or the first side will be date. Then you talk about the field or plot ID. When we're talking about plot ID, if you are planting sole crop, for instance, people that do large scale, they may decide to use a particular plot of land for one crop. You name that field, either field 1 or field 2 or field 3, depending on the number of crops you are involved in. Then talk about activity description, the activities, the land preparation, the cultivation, the weeding, harvesting, etc. They talk about the crop planted per, we are using per hectare here. It can be per plot. We know that we are just starting, and we encourage us to start small. So you can say per plot, but when you're talking about per plot, you need to get the measurement of that plot. Very, very important. It will help you to know whether the output you will realize from that plot is actually what you're supposed to gain from that particular plot. Now you talk about the inputs used, the input you have used on your farm, the seed, the manure, the source of the manure, another day. You talk about source of inputs. Is it from your farm, or did you go to buy from certified input suppliers? They talk about quantity of inputs. Now, when you are talking about inputs, this compost, for example, we have compost on our screen here. The compost, like on Tuesday, I told us how to prepare compost. You can either prepare on your own, or you can go to a certified input supplier, somebody that has already produced and bagged them. You can go and buy from them. Even the one you have on your farm, the one you have prepared, for record purposes, you need to weigh them. For record purposes, you put them in a bag, maybe 50 kg bag, and weigh them. Very, very important. Now, then the quantity of input, because it will help you to give you the actual amount of input that you have used on your farm. Then yield, that is after you have harvested your crops. Then you have notes and observation. When you go to the farm, when you enter the farm, you start taking note of what you're observing on your farm. If you planted, if there is a runoff, you check where it is more heavier. If there are pest infestation, you check the particular pest that is attacking whatever crop. And so it will help you in knowing the particular measure to take. So whatever you observe, you take them down. Now, so for you to start inputting your records, we have gotten our on the first column. Now, the first, by your left-hand side, you on the first row, whatever thing you do on your farm, very, very important. You start from putting down the dates. If you get a farm now, and you want to start land preparation, your land preparation date, you put it, say, day 1, I did this, I cleared the land, I stomped them, I mixed the plants or the debris with the soil, I harrowed it and mixed everything together in the soil so that everything would decompose and form manure on the land. You number you put the date of that particular activity. Then if you go another day, like if you say maybe in 2 days' time, you also put the date. It will help you to know, to trace your activities throughout, so that if peradventure you have any issue, you will go back to your record to find out, where did I miss it? What didn't I do? What did I do? Maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do, or I did it half measure. It will help you to take corrections and correct every error that must have occurred. So that's what we'll have here. Now, the next one is input sales record. You follow the same pattern. But the only thing now that the subheadings for the input and sales record will be different from the production log. Remember, in the input and sales record, you're talking about expenses and income. While in your production, you're talking about the activities that you carried out on your farm, from inception, source of seed, land preparation to harvesting. So here now, the subheadings, they are different. They will change. You're talking about product sold, quantity you sold. Most times you may harvest, say, like 100 kg, but at the end of the day, you didn't sell the 100 kg. You may have sold 85 kg. So you also record it, how many kg you sold from that particular batch. So that you also write down what happened to the remaining kg. Very, very important. Because when the inspector will come, they want to know what happened. Now, unit price, how much you spend per kg. If you are selling in kg, how much you sell per kg. If you are selling using mudu, how much you sold per mudu. But it's always good to convert your measurement to kg. Even if you are using mudu, you are using paint bucket, you are using custard bucket, you are using any kind of measure, it's always good and advisable to convert it to kg. So what you need to do is go to the market, that particular measure you're using, bring it and weigh it so that you know the actual quantity. Now, the total revenue. We know what total revenue means. Total revenue is the price times the quantity. The price of that particular times the quantity. For instance, now on our screen, we have quantity sold of this tomato 15 kg, and the unit price is 4. So you're going to multiply this 15 kg by 4. That's how we got this 16 here. Now, you also tell us where you sold your tomato. Where did you sell it? Did you sell it to, did the consumers come to the farm to buy them? Did you go to the general market? Or is there an organic market around? Or a farmer's market? You have to note it. Then the batch number, like I said, every batch you harvested, you number them to help you trace them. Trace all the information concerning that particular batch. For instance, if you are cultivating cucumber, when you start harvesting, maybe from 2 months to 3 months, the first harvest, you number, you can just number it anything you want. See whatever, you can number it whatever you want. Now, when you harvest the second batch, you give them also, on either the first one will be C1 or C whatever, then the second batch will now be C2. It's very, very important. It will aid in traceability. Then if you have any notes to take, like in this one now, we didn't have any note to take here, but if you have anything, any observation, anything to put, you put them under the notes. Anything goes in the second batch now, maybe the second time you want to harvest, and most times, you harvest weekly, every week. So you write the date you harvested the crop, the quantity you have harvested, the price you sold it. The price may be higher, it may be lower, depending on the market. Yes. You talk about where you sold it to or the customers. If you are selling to middlemen, they'll price it lower somehow. If you are selling to middlemen, and if you are selling to people that are not aware of the kind of product you are carrying, it may make you to sell below the normal price you're supposed to sell. So you also put down your notes and so on. Now, expenditure record. On your expenditure record, you also put all the subheadings. We'll have to capture everything about your expenses. Description. How much you paid for that particular seed, the source of that seed. Yes, we are talking about seed now. The description, is it certified, organic, or semi-certified, organic, or from conventional sources? You have to note them down. It's very, very important. Then the category. Under expenses, you talk about the category. You can spend money on inputs. You can spend money on operations, people that you have employed in your farm, laborers and so on. And you can also spend money and whatever thing that you spend money on, even paying yourself, wages, salary, you can put them under the category. Then suppliers, who are the people that have supplied, that are supplying your goods to you? You put them down, very, very important. So that it will help the certifiers to know whether these people are applying organic standard in whatever they are doing. Then the amount you bought those things, the payment method, whether it's by cash or by bank transfer or by check, it depends. Then the invoice receipt, the receipt number that was issued to you when you paid for such goods. Then you put notes down, receipt filed. Very, very important. We'll explain more when as we go on. It's very, very important to file your receipts of everything that you have paid for. Very, very important. You can buy a file, you can use an envelope, you can use a binder. What we call a binder is sort of a book that has holes. You can use perforators to perforate them, use rope, and pass it across. I know most of us have seen files, all these file jackets or whatever. You see the perforation and the rope that is that pass through them. You can use it, whatever receipts you collect from any vendor, you put it in that file for whatever purpose. And when you put it in that particular file, you name it so that it will help you. You don't put every receipt you are getting. Maybe you talk about a receipt for maybe inputs. You put them the same thing here. Operations, you put them in the same file. No, get different files. It will help you in your reviews. When you want to review what you have done, it will be easier for you because you have each file numbered, labeled. So if you're looking for operations, maybe amount, what you have spent on operations, you simply go to that particular file, pick it up. You see everything about it. It will help even in putting your records. It will be easier for you. All right. So this is it about expenditure record. Talk about land rent, neem oil for pesticide control, laborers. Okay. Now we'll talk about organic specific records. What we have been talking about, we're also talking about organic specific records. They want to now explain in detail, what and what, how we got all these tables. We want to explain in detail. These organic specific records, you keep them to prove your adherence to organic standards and ensure the integrity of your products from farm to table. When you have such records like the ones we have shown us now, somebody who is coming to you, just at a glance, will say, yes, truly, this person has an organic integrity. Yes, that this person is truly conforming to organic standard. So while general business records are important, organic specific records are the foundation of your organic system plan. I don't know whether when we are taught certification by Mr. Tokpe, whether you people were put through organic system plan. What is just talking about generally about all the activities, what you need on your farm. It will start from farm assessment and goal setting. Whoever is planning to go into organic agriculture business along the value chain, you must not only be a farmer, you can be a processor. You go to buy raw goods from the farmers and process, you add value to them. You can be in the marketing stage or logistics. Whatever level you want on that particular value chain, you can fit in anywhere. Now, you have to have a plan. If you're a business person, you must have a plan. You must have where you put down your objectives, your sales strategies, what you need to do. Find out your competitors is very, very important. So organic system plan is a foundation of whatever you want to do, and you need to develop one. It will help you to understand the link between market needs and the standards in relation to, to the essence of compliance in the use of natural inputs. When you have this plan, it will help you, it will help you to understand that you need to go and do market survey to find out what are people really looking for. You will have to understand your need, identify your niche markets, the target customers, the people you want to serve, and what really they need. And you also want to find out if there are other people who are in that area, your competitors, and what they are doing, whether they are following the pattern you want to follow or they are not adhering to organic standards, and you know what to do on your own farm. So you need to do your farm assessment. You need to do your goal setting. It is very, very important. It is very, very important in setting an organic system plan. It will help you to have an internal accountability structure what you can use to assess your farm at a particular point in time, whether you are making progress or whether you're not making progress. Then if you're not making progress, you go back, because you already have the record, you go back and find out where did I miss it? Where and where did this error occur? And because you already have your record down, you'll be able to pinpoint exactly where the problem is coming from. So now, this organic system plan we are talking about, it will cover soil health and fertility. We have been talking about this all this while. It will cover how you are maintaining your soil, how you are improving your soil for people who are into crop production. Now, soil testing, nutrient management, soil conservation, and conservation techniques that will help support your plant growth. We are talking about plan now. You're putting these plans in motion so that it will help you, to guide you when you start your business proper. You need to prepare. Whatever you are doing without planning, you are bound to fail. You must prepare first. You don't just jump into the business. No, you must plan first, so that as you are moving along, you'll be checking what you are doing, your progress, based on the plan you have already made. I have said before, when you do your soil testing, you find out in that farm which nutrient is lacking so that you can make it up. Now, the nutrient you want to use to make it up, what is the source? How are you going to get it? It's very, very important. Disease management, all these things are part of your plan. How you are going to manage the pests that will affect your crops. Weed control strategies, organic input selections, the source of your input, the organic or conventional or semi-organic. Very, very important. Water management, is key, very, very important. In this area now of climate change, erratic rainfalls here and there. You may think that is normally in yesteryears, we can predict when rain will fall and when we'll have harmattan and dry season. In this time, this era is no longer so. You can just wake up one morning, rain will start falling. You can just wake up one morning, you have a dry spell. So you need to plan ahead. In case of unforeseen circumstances, in case of drought, what do I do? You think about water harvesting. You think about using irrigation in your farm. Then you think about record keeping and documentation, which is the key, which is what you are talking about today. Record keeping and documentation, very, very key. Whatever plan you are making, make sure you include record keeping. Very, very key. Because in fact, it is the cruise of the matter, it's the powerhouse of the matter. And it will also help you during your certification process. This is not what we are talking about. I was just trying to run us through what we mean by organic system plan. It's not what really we are talking about, but it's very, very important. Now, this organic specific records we are talking about field history sheets. Wow, sorry, it's like I'm moving too fast. Do you have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? You must talk. Oh. Are we clear? You don't have any question? Remember, I said that we are noting our level of participation in this course. We are noting them. Yes, very good. Henrietta, please unmute yourself and talk. Ask your question. Henrietta, go ahead.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Hello. And my question is this. I don't know, is there a specific season for us to plant that is very good for organic product? Because there are products that are good in dry season farming and there are some that are very good during rainy season. So I don't know whether organic products have this specification also, maybe being good during dry season or rainy season.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. You see why I was talking about the OSP, Organic System Plan. When you do your market research, when you do your homework, when you do your groundwork, see, organic product, it's the same thing like when you are trying to produce conventionally. But the only thing now, our own practices, we are doing it in a healthy way. So you do your research first. You go to the market, do your market research. Then also, like all these crops now, for organic agriculture, if you have maybe you have putting your irrigation system on your farm, you have dug well for people who use wells and harvested water, use tanks to harvest water, you can crop all the year round. But now the problem comes in your crop selection. You try to find out which particular crop does better in this particular weather or in this particular weather. And in that season, you can go into that particular crop and produce it. In the next, like now, all the crops that we have, all of them, they do well in a particular time of the year. So it's left for you to go and research this particular crop, like tomatoes. We start transplanting from, I think, around May. But you can also produce tomatoes in a controlled environment from January. It depends on your resources, the money that you have. You can go into greenhouse farming. Have you heard about greenhouse farming before? Or greenhouse?
Yes.
The protected environment. Yes. So it depends on the amount of money that is available to you or what you want to do. And if you just want to do it on the open field, you follow the weather, the seasons for everything. You cannot say maybe like now, we have wet season onion. They are coming out now. Between November, December, people have started planting dry season onions. So you find out the particular season that will suit whichever, like we do in the conventional farming. We also do that in organic farming. So are you okay? Okay. Yahanasu, please unmute yourself and talk. Yahanasu, Khalid, please unmute yourself and talk.
Ma, thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is under that certification that you talked about in our previous class. You told us that it will take, when you are practicing conventional farming, it will take like 3 years for the soil. It will take like 3 years for the soil to be purely natural.
Yeah,
Hello,
free from chemicals. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, free from chemicals. So my question is, does that mean the body that are in charge of certifying that you are practicing organic agriculture, does that mean it will take them like 3 years? It will take you 3 good years for the effort to be certified as organic farming.
Okay, what we are talking about is this, because you're already practicing conventional farming on that land, and there are chemical depositions in that land. And when they will come, they will do soil testing to find out the level of deposition in that soil. That is why we do this, what we call in-conversion. And it is calculated that in 3 years, the level of deposition will reduce to the barest minimum. That's when you're converting from conventional farming to organic farming. Now, if you have kept that land fallow, in some places, they have places where many people don't usually go to farm until like after 7 years. So the land will be lying in fallow for 7 years. In that case, when they come, they also test the soil. Because nobody knows, maybe runoff from somewhere else may bring in soil, maybe chemicals from maybe a conventional farm, and also deposit it in that place. So they also test the soil, and if they find out that it is free of contamination, you can start practicing your organic farming immediately on that particular farm. But now, like what I'm talking about in some communities where they leave the land fallow for 7 years, other people may come in and start their own conventional. So you also observe. That's why it's very, very key that you be observant. If there are conventional farmers who want to come around there, ensure you maintain a buffer zone. Ensure a buffer zone 40 meters between your own that organic farm and the conventional farm. Who is talking? Conventional farm. Who is talking? Okay, this is echoing back. Why? Echoing back. Why? Okay. So are you okay now? So Khalid? Are you okay now, Khalid? Hello? Hello? Khalid, are you okay? Khalid, are you okay? Okay, Essential, please, can you unmute yourself and talk? Essential. Essential. Kindly unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
ma.
good morning, ma. Good morning,
Good
doctor.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning, doctor.
Okay.
Hello, doctor, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, ma. Thank you for the interesting lecture. My question is this: is there a way to determine how much I can get from a plot of land? Say I plant a pepper.
I'm not hearing you very well. Or it's echoing.
Ma, can you hear me now?
Okay, what did you say?
Yeah, I said, is there a way I can predict how much I can get from a plot of land? Let's say I plant pepper all through one plot of land. And do I have to use my expenses to determine how much I can sell those peppers to get back my money? I don't know if you understand my question.
Okay, yes. What I would suggest is this. For you to do that, like I encouraged us on Tuesday, if you want to go into this, you start small.
Okay,
You will not
doctor.
say maybe I have 10 million. You just invested the 10 million immediately. You may end up crying at the end of the day. So you start small. You may start, from a particular bed. You may prepare a bed. You check the number of stands you planted on that. During harvest, you harvest, put in all the good agricultural practices, all the organics, and you apply them there. At the end of the harvest, you harvested from that bed, that particular bed, you weigh the outputs to know the quantity that you harvested. It will not serve as a guide for you. That's an option. Another option is to, look for a farmer who is already into organic agriculture and source for the information from the person. Are you clear now? Are you clear? Hello? Essential, are you clear? All right. Modipe, please unmute yourself and talk.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Blessing.
Good morning.
Yeah, my question is on this requirements for organic agriculture that you mentioned, and so far that you've been talking, you've been basically mentioning soil like that, and considering the fact that where I am and my background basically, I noticed that the majority of the greenhouses now they are making use of soilless medium. They are not making use of soil. And if I look at it from the perspective of where I am as a biodiversity conservator, there is need for us to incorporate some a situation whereby we can reduce the pressure that is being put on our
our forest environment in such a way that forest materials can actually be, forest byproducts can actually be used in agriculture. Yes, majority of this soilless medium, they basically make use of synthetic chemicals in order to boost the fertility of whatever medium they are making use of. But so far, I have been able to come up with the fact that I can make use of some forest materials that are not soil in place of where there are no soil available in a particular environment, and I still want to farm. Is there a way the organic certification can actually look into that aspect of soilless farming, where we can make use of materials like the sawdust, composted or maybe manure added in one way or the other, or fermented medium, whereby we can come up and make use of that in farming? Because presently I farm with sawdust and I basically make use of manure. And so far I've discovered that my pepper are doing fine. But the fear I'm having now is, even as the fact that I'm not using any form of synthetic chemical, can I still be certified as an organic farmer? Despite the fact that I'm not using soil and I'm not using synthetic chemicals in planting, can I still be certified as an organic farmer? Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well, what I would say about that is this. You know, like you mentioned, in the soilless practices, the nutrient solution is usually not organic. It's usually not organic. Maybe you can help us, you start it up, be an area of research, use organic materials. There's what we call composting. You know, when you pour water into all those compost materials that you are using and sieve them, you can dilute them, then use them as your nutrient source. The important thing is this: we want to make sure that the inputs, that the nutrients, the solution you are using for that particular farm, they are organically, they are of organic standard. That's the problem. Now, for greenhouses also, it's not only soilless practices. We can also use, I visited a farm that was middle September. What they are using in their greenhouse, they are not practicing this soilless farming. That's not what they are doing. They are using biochar, and this the material they use for the biochar is poultry dung. On the farm, they produce their own manure. They rear the livestock, use their manure, and as the tea, even they are producing rabbit urine. Is another input, is another source of nutrient that is very, very good for organic farming. They use it, and they use it in their farm. They use soil, use these materials, biochar, which they produce from poultry dung, mix it sometimes with the urine, and plant their crops in all these planting bags. I don't know what they call that bag, these black sand planting bags. That's what they are using to produce. Very big farm, and their crops were doing very, very well. You can go into soilless practices if you are sure that the nutrient solution is organically prepared. We don't accept anything chemical. Now we have these cocoa pits. I don't know whether we have heard about cocoa pits. It's produced from coconut husk. It's quite expensive, but if you can produce by yourself, it will go a long way too. It's also acceptable. You know, you bring all these coconut husk and prepare a place, you put them there, put a lot, in fact, the processes involved is much, but if you can use it, with time, you will recoup your investment. People are also doing that. But for you now at your level, it's very expensive. Now, you talked about using forest resources. Yes, in organic agriculture, we encourage agroforestry. That's what we call agroforestry. You plant trees, economic trees, so that when you harvest the fruits, you sell them and make your money. Then in between the trees that you have planted, you can use them as hedges around your farm. Then you plant your crops in the middle. Even when they shed their leaves, it also adds nutrient to the soil. Then that place I'm talking about that we visited, whatever they use on the farm, they said they get it from their farm. They use bamboo to construct their own greenhouse. They use bamboo, and they got the bamboo and even the timber from around their farm area there too. Some of the things that they planted. So it's very, very possible, but you must be intentional if you want to go into it. You must be intentional because there are hypes and ups and downs, but you know where you are looking at, you know where you are going. Like I said, and I've advised before, start small. Okay, please, can you unmute yourself and talk?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you once again. My name is Abdullah Salisu.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, thanks for the wonderful presentation. Ma, I have like 4 questions. I don't know if time will permit me to ask the questions.
Okay, you be fast about it. Just ask them because
Okay. My one goes to the certification. As you taught us, you started teaching us about recording. Is it impossible for the certification body to certify your product if you don't have a detailed recording, as in documented recording, detailed documented recording before they certify your organic product? Is it impossible if you don't have such?
How would they
Secondly,
know that you are telling? How would they know that you are telling them the truth? So you need record. You need, yes, seriously, a detailed record. Yeah.
Okay. Without it, you can never be certified.
And nowadays, anybody can say anything. So we don't use only word of mouth. We must see evidence, proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, please, I'm a bit confused about the organic. How can we achieve pure organic manure, either manure or compost? Because as you mentioned a day before yesterday, like the chicken drop, especially the broilers, the agric chicken, they used to inject them and the food they eat is more of chemicals. So you said they are not 100% organic due to the chemical that they used to eat in the food. So how is there any way that we can get 100% organic compost or manure? And
Okay, number one, for that one, you can decide to go into production of those livestock, if you can.
Okay.
Secondly, if you can't, there are people who are into it already, and they're in the process of certification too. So you look for them. You look for those suppliers who are applying organic standard and buy your input for them. Now, compost can not only be made from poultry dung or livestock manure. You can also do it from, like I said last time, from wastes, kitchen wastes, provided you don't add waterproof, battery, iron, all those things that can contaminate your farm. And then plant debris, waste from your farm. If you have, after harvesting this time around, you can incorporate the waste instead of burning them, incorporate it into the soil and allow it to decompose. It also adds nutrients to your farm together with the compost that you have already made. That's another option too. Okay, the third question.
The third question is a method of applying the either the compost or the manure to your farm. Is it before the plantation or when it is after the plantation has taken place, or maybe the plant has started to grow, just as
okay. For me, I will advise during land preparation. During land preparation, you add your ash, you add your manure, you add your compost, and mix the soil, mix everything together, and allow them, add maybe water to them or rain to fall on them. Allow them, like say 1 week, so that the soil, everything will be absorbed, the nutrients will be absorbed before you plant. It will help your plant, so that next time you're applying, it will take you maybe even after your first harvest before you can think about applying more manure to your farm.
Okay, ma'am, clear. Okay, the last one is how many times am I to use the compost or manure, or is it once before the plantation takes place? If I put it once, that's all to still last up to the time I'm going to harvest.
It depends on the quantity. It depends on the
Okay.
quantity you applied to the soil. Yes, it depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
if you applied enough at the beginning, you may not need throughout the planting season. You may not need to.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Fortune, please kindly unmute and talk. All right, thank you. Fortune, please kindly unmute and talk.
Okay, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for this impactful section. It's been really interesting. Okay, so let me go straight to my question. The use of these plastic mulch films, I don't know, is it also, when using that in organic farming, does it count? Because I know there's also this organic mulch where we use this grass chippings and all. I don't know, because in our climatic region here in Rivers State, it's very necessary to regulate the soil temperature and all that. And, most times in commercial production, they use this plastic mulch film. So is it against the whole organic farming ethics? Must it be the use of biodegradable materials like grass chippings and leaves and all that? So that's my question. Thank you, ma.
Okay, I will advise, if you're able, just get the grasses. Then I use it as your mulch. Do you know why? It has an added advantage because at the end, it also add nutrient. It would decompose and add nutrient to your farm. It will increase the nutrient. Then for the plastic, we know that when sun shines on the plastic, what usually is made with chemicals. So now we are debating on that, and if you ask me, they may compound your problem in the long run. So I advise you go for mulch, natural mulch. Who else have I not called? Okay, Chidi, please unmute yourself and talk. Chidi, unmute yourself and talk. Okay, he's not with us.
Good morning, ma.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, ma. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
go
want to
ahead.
ask a question. In terms of broilers railing, is it true that if you are practicing organic farming, like you stop giving them chemicals, drugs, and you are still giving them olam feed, that we are not practicing organic? I just want to know.
You say you're doing natural farming, not organic farming. And you don't know the composition of the feed.
Yes.
Or their sources. So it's dicey. So I don't advise that. Even if you want to go for commercial feed, you try to find out what are they using in the production of that feed. And if you can, you run a test, do analysis on that particular feed to find out the composition before you can use it in your farm. Or you look for people that produce organic feed. All right. Vincent, I thought you have talked. Okay, can we go ahead? Okay, Chisom, kindly unmute yourself and talk. This will be the last person, or we don't have time again. Okay, Chisom, kindly unmute. We are waiting.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning, my fellow trainees. I'm beginning to be much more concerned if someone can actually achieve 100% organic products, because you are
Yes,
not
it's
certain.
possible. It's possible.
Because you can't use, maybe you want to plant tomatoes, you want to use money, you have to be the one to produce all the things you use for that particular product for you to say that it's 100% organic. Because I'm beginning to fear that we don't have any 100% organic. I'm just observing. That's an observation, not really a question.
Yeah, but some people are coming up now, even in the input sector. We have organic fertilizer now. We have organic fertilizer now. And we have what we call probiotics. It is not where we are going to. These are organic inputs that you can use on your farm, both crop and livestock. They enhance your output from your farm. So it's very possible. There are input producers now. We have input. They are in the process of getting certified in Nigeria presently. So we have organic inputs, organic manures, whatever inputs you need, organic pesticides. You can get them. The only way you will say maybe it's difficult, maybe when you want to go into producing them by yourself, as a beginner, it may seem very hard, but with time, you see that it's very easy. Thank you for your observation, though. Okay, now we want to talk about these specialized records. We talk about record field history. What should be contained in that your organic record that the certifiers, the inspectors will need? The history of that your farm. We are talking about in conversion for people that are converting from conventional to organic. It's for three years. So they want to know the detail of what you have done on that farm for the past 3 years. Then the input use record, the inputs that you have used on the farm for the past 3 years, the compost production record, how you produced it, how you stored them, the source of this compost, whether they are up to standard. Then talk about the seed and planting stock records, the source of your seed. Okay, we have said that. Document all the seed and planting materials, showing their origin, where you got them from, the certification status. They also document your strategies for dealing with pests, how you dealt with the pests, even the weeding on your farm, what you used, whether you used herbicides or you did hand weeding, however method that you adopted. Now you talk about harvest and storage records. You document the harvest dates. When we showed us that a sample of what a record looks like, you talk about your harvest date, the first batch, the quantity you harvested, and the particular plot of field. If you partitioned your field into several portions, wherever the particular field that you harvested the products from, and the batch or lot number that you have assigned to that product, to assign to that product for traceability sake. Now you talk about mass balance and audit trials. These are internal reconciliation record. They try to compare the total quantity of product that you have harvested from your farm, if you're a crop farmer or if you're a poultry farmer and the first batch, the first 3 months, when your beds are matured, you want to sell them. At the end, you check the mortality. The ones that are remaining, you took them to the market, and the ones that you are not able to sell. So the quantity you have harvested and the quantity you sold, and now you account for the ones that you did not sell. Why didn't you sell them? What happened to them in the long run? Right. We now want to go into another section completely, talking about practical tools and hands-on applications, tools that you can use, the materials that you can use in your record purposes, what you need for your record purposes. We have what we call low-tech solutions. Low-tech solutions. That is, they are very cheap. You can access them. They are very simple. They are affordable. They don't require electricity or internet access. Even if you don't have network in your area, you can still use them, and they're not expensive. So they're ideal for small-scale farmers. As young entrepreneurs, you are beginning now. You can use this one to start. Now, maybe as you begin to expand, you now talk about maybe digital tools, how you can, expand your horizon. I said these methods, they are practical and highly effective for maintaining the detailed records needed for both businesses. They are very, very easy to handle. We have some examples here. When we talk about low-tech solutions, we have some examples here. Pen and paper. You can just get a book. an exercise book and use it as your record material. Notebooks, the materials needed for this. Low-tech solutions. We have pen and paper logbooks. We have whiteboard or chalkboard. We know what we mean by chalkboard now or whiteboard. People that are passed through secondary school and university, wide magnetic board. You have simple spreadsheets. I don't know whether we've heard about Excel sheets before. You know what Excel sheets is? Or Google Sheets? Have we heard about Google Sheets? Excel sheets? Give me a thumbs up so that I will know. Oh, okay. All right. How many people? I'm just seeing 2. We're up to 108 here. How many people have heard about Google Sheets? Microsoft Excel? Microsoft, when you're typing, when you're using your computer, you have Microsoft Word where you use, type your documents. Then we have Microsoft Excel too. It's just like graph. Okay. All right, let's go ahead because of our time. But it's good we indicate whether we've heard about these things, so it will help us. Okay, we will have what we call DIY binder system. What it means, do it yourself. DIY, do it yourself binder system. Then we have physical receipt bus. These are the 5 examples of low-tech solutions that we have. Now, what are the materials that we need for this low-tech solution? For pen and paper, you just need notebooks, pens, pencil. You are seeing them on the screen there. Binders, dividers, folders. For receipts, when we are talking about income and expense record, I mentioned folders, using files, envelopes, dividers. This divider is just like a book. After this, you can just walk into a bookstore. Tell whoever is there to show you a binder. It's just like this type of that has different colors in between. The first section may be blue. After the blue part, you have the red part. After the red part, you may have the yellow or whatever. You can also construct it yourself. You can get an exercise book. Okay, for people who know about these big exercise books, these, what do they call this big exercise book? That has partitions. When you're taking notes, you have partitions. You can color the first page and record it, maybe income expense. Then you go to the next partition and color it maybe green, so that when you are flipping through the exercise book and you see green, you know it's a start of another record. You can record it expense, you can production of activity, whatever. So that's what we are talking about. Now, what is it best for? This pen and paper logbook, what is it best for? Small scale farmers. You can use it. Field-based tax. When you go to the field, take records. But it is very, very good that, very, very important that you go with a small paper and a size book. So you'll be taking notes, your observation. You may say, when I come back, and you may forget some things. But once you take them to the field, whatever you observe, you know them down. It will help you to remember to put them in your normal when you come back. So it's very, very good. Now, what are the advantages? They are highly accessible. You don't require special skill for them, and they can be used anywhere, anytime. Now, what are the challenges here? Yes, data security. That is a very big challenge. What I may put on the exercise book and all that you have written may be wiped out. You can lose it, and maybe your handwriting is not fine. Okay, for this illegible handwriting, you can use shorthand that you may remember because it's for you. You're just using it to take on the spot record. You record what you're observing on the farm. You can use shorthand, which you can transfer to your memory or when you go back to your wherever you keep your table. It's difficult to analyze and share. It's only you that understands what you have written. Most times, another person may not really understand what you have written. So that's just disadvantage. Now, when we talk about whiteboard or chalkboard, it's a large whiteboard or chalkboard, dry eraser markers or chalk. I don't know whether we have seen this magnetic chalkboard that they use in classrooms now. You use marker. But most times we advise that you use a marker that you can clean off. There are permanent markers. And there are markers that you can clean. So it's advisable to use markers you can clean. And this particular board, now you can keep it anywhere. You can keep it close to the store.
because you want to record maybe the quantity your laborers are bringing in immediately. You can use it to record schedule for each work, for each activity that you want to carry out. When you just come into that place, the board, your eyes will just go, be attracted to the board, and you look at the activities that you need to carry out. It will also help you and guide you. And you can also use ordinary board, not this magnetic board. You can use ordinary board and paint it white and be using it. Now, what is it best for? Family farms, communal spaces, daily tax tracking. Like I have said, what are the key advantages? Immediately you come in, like I said, quick visibility. Your eyes will just be drawn to it immediately, and people can see their daily tasks. Your workers can see what they're supposed to do, their planting schedules. You know, it will just give you the inventory of what is going on from at a glance. Now, what are the challenges, the disadvantages? Limited space. It's not suitable for long-term or detailed record. You know, it will just give you a highlight. What and what can enter the board? It's only little information that can enter the board. That's just the main challenge. Now we talk about simple spreadsheets. Like I was asking us whether we have heard about Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. When you open your computer, how many of us have computers? Let me ask that question. Do you have computers? Even in your phone, your tablets, even in your phone, in your tablets, we have this. When you have a Word document in your distance, you just go there. You will see when you install an app, this Microsoft app on your phone. You can also access the Excel workbook because these are very, very simple ones. What do I do now? How can I have an Excel in my distance? Please, are you with me? Have we seen an Microsoft Excel sheet before? How many people have seen that? It just looks like graph that has cells where you can input data. They're already made. It makes things easy for you. And it can help you to save your documents. It can help you to save your documents. And it can help you grant you quick access to the information you're looking for immediately. Okay, those with basic computer skills, I say it's best for those with basic computer skills, small businesses. See, in this life, I want to give us an advice. In this life, if you want to go far, you try to learn a particular skill, basic skill. It will help you in the long run. You may not know when you will need them in the future. You try to better yourself. Don't just focus on one area. Try to diversify. Like now, this basic computer skill is very, very important. And as a youth who wants to go far. So if you have not done it, if you have not attended maybe a computer school, or you don't have a basic computer skill, make out time. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your future. Make out time and attend one. It will help you in the long run. Okay, now what are the key advantages? Easy access, easy analysis. You can use basic formulas to calculate profits, track costs, or filter data. We will not go into all this because what we will, in this training, we want to introduce you. You know, even when we'll be talking about digital tools, we will introduce you to them. I will give you examples of where you can get free distance, where you have free access that you can practice on your own. Because if we go about digital tool training and all that, it's not something that we can do in a day. But I encourage us to go for such training. It's very, very important. Now, what are the challenges now? The challenges are that it cannot work where there are no internet. It requires manual, and it requires manual transferring of data. Yes, even if those sheets, those cells, you have to transfer the data, input the data one by one. But there are options there that when you put one data, you can drag and other cells will be filled up. Basic computer training is very, very important. You have to go for it. Also, it's also prone to data loss if not regularly backed up. Now, this particular disadvantage can be tackled when you're talking about data loss. When you back it up to your Google Drive or to the cloud, whenever you need the information, you can retrieve it. Because sometimes your laptop, you may have problem with your laptop and you need to go and flash it, all the documents will be locked. But if you backed it up, you can still retrieve them. Now we have what we call DIY binder system. Like what we are talking, DIY means do it yourself. I've tried to explain how you can do this binder. You can get a size book, use a size book, or you can go to bookshops and buy already prepared one, which they have demarcated with colors. So the first section, you can use it for your income record, second section for your expenses, the other one for production, like that. Materials, a large binder with dividers, hole punched, or printable templates. They are best for farms needing an organized, flexible, and comprehensive system. Yeah, because it will help you. It's very, very good, because immediately, whatever information you need, you just go straight to it, because there is a color that you use to differentiate, or you have used something or a marker that you have to differentiate from the first part from the second part. Okay, the advantages: they are centralized and customizable. The records are in one place. Remember, all of them are bounded together. You use rope or use perforator or use spiral bind or whatever whatever method you want to, or gum. You can put all the records in one and use gum and hold them together. Okay, we said that you allow for modular system with sections for input, sales, I've explained this, and finances. But a major disadvantage is very, very time consuming. To set it up, it takes time to set up. That it requires initial effort to print, organize, and consistently file documents. But if you know what you are looking for, so you make out time and file those documents, because you know where you are going. Without them, all your stress, all your investment, you may lose them. You may not get what you set out to achieve at the long run. Now we have physical receipt box. Physical receipt box is a shoe box, a file holder, or a series of envelopes. When you see the name shoe box, that's just what it is. When you go to buy shoes, some of them come in boxes. So that's what you are referring to, that kind of thing. So a shoe box, a file holder, like we have a big file. When you go to the bookshops, if you ask them for a file holder, usually big, maybe brown or whatever color, that has a iron where you can place and put your receipts, fix your receipts inside. You can talk about series of envelopes. We are talking about envelopes and all that. Now, what is it best for beginning farmers, small operations with minimal transaction, and what are the advantages? They are easy to start. Receipts can be a primary record, but they are prone to some challenges too. It also captures key details like labor hours or field observations. You are using this receipt box. You're just putting the receipts that you got when you paid for transactions, or the receipts you paid to do something for you. So now it does not capture field observations, because the field observation we're talking about, you should have a separate record where you can put all these activities that you have carried out in your farm. It's difficult to categorize and summarize, because when you get the receipt, just put it there. You put every receipt you're getting inside that place. They are not in sections. You just dump everything. They are not separated. They are not arranged. So that's the challenge. We're using a physical receipt box. Now we want to go straight into some of these low-tech solutions that we have highlighted. Number one is the shoebox method. We say that it's highly effective. And instead of a shoebox, the farmer can use a simple folder. You can use a simple file. You can get different files with different colors, or just label them. You can get a large envelope or a dedicated cabinet. Have you seen cabinets before? You have a compartment that are segmented into different sections. A cabinet, a compartment, they can construct it using iron, they can construct it using wood. They are segmented into different sections. So, and the methods involve filing system, creating a physical filing system with different folders for each category, like I have said. You can get different shoe boxes different, many of them, but it will occupy space. That's the problem. It will occupy space. You can have one folder for income, another one for expense, another one for input certificates, another one for field logs. Then the process, immediately you buy an item and they issue a receipt to you. You go and file them. Immediately you sell something to somebody and issue a receipt to the person, you file, well, for receipts now, I know that we have a cardboard sheet, is it carbon? So that it will be duplicated in the next one. So this simple act of organization prevents clutter and lost documents. Another example is physical notebooks and ledger books. I know that most of us have seen this example that we have on the screen, notebooks. You see, there are different lines, different colors. We have blue, we have red. They are ruled. You have sections. Like I said, when we gave those are our examples before, the first line, I don't know whether you are seeing it very well, but you have an idea of what I'm talking about. The columns, the first column, you have dates. You can put in all the activities related to particular record you are interested in, whether it's production record, income record, or expense record, depending on what the left-hand side, the column, the left-hand side is the date. Then the second column, it may be description. The third column, maybe whatever, depending on the record you are trying to keep. We said that the first one here, first example here, you can use it to record daily activities, observations on pests or diseases, weather, and labor hours. You see, this is an improvement over the shoebox, because now you have a notebook, you have a ledger. It can help you to record all observations that you make on your farm. You have the production ledger. It's a notebook with a pre-print table. There's a ledger we call production ledger. It has a pre-print table that will track everything, every activity that you have carried out from your farm, from planting to harvest. And this table, they have columns for dates, field, or plot name. You know, they have simplified this for you. Instead of you using your pen and ruler to rule, to draw lines on that your notebook, you go for a production ledger. You go to the bookstore, you tell them you are looking for a production. All the lines have been drawn already. And all these headings, date, field, plot name, they have been inputted already. So what you need to do is just to start putting in the data that you collect from the farm. They already have a date, field, plot name, activities, all that you do in the farm, other activity, you just keep noting them and putting them in the ledger. Now we have visual charts and maps. What we mean by this is, sometimes you see what pie charts, bar charts, or you see photos, diagrams. Okay, like what I have shown us here. When you see this, this is a ledger. You know immediately that this is a ledger. Same thing, when you talk about something that will just give you information at a glance, immediately you look at it. All the information you require, you will receive it at a glance. That's what you're talking about. You say, make records intuitive and easy to follow. Now, you can have maps, farm maps. When you talk about farm maps, when you come to a farm, you need a map of all the things that you do in that farm, the location of the shade, location of the store, location where maybe if you're into livestock, where you have your livestock facilities, and where you have your crops and the particular crop that you have planted, the types of crop, just a map of all the farm, everything about the farm, the road, the track, the trees, the buffer zone, very, very important. Then you have wall charts. They are hung in the shade or in the office. It could be for a harvest schedule. You have laborers. If your farm is big, you cannot do the harvest by yourself. You can just have a chart, sections. You tell Obi, you have to do this and do this, and so this, and so hour. Ngozi, you need to go to the farm. You need to do your reading. You have your schedule. You just hang it on the wall. This allows the entire family or the team to easily see what needs to be done and what they need to do. Each one needs to do at a particular point in time. Number 4 is simple checklists and forms. Simple checklists and forms. Remember we are talking about low-tech solutions. They are affordable. They're easily affordable. They're accessible. You can use them where you don't have internet. For people who are having an internet problem, you can use it there. Now we say simple checklist and form. They are pre-printed or handwritten checklist. Before you start something, you know, like we talked about OSP, making your plans. Then for the week, at the beginning of the week, you may have a checklist. See what I'm going to do this particular week. Now, this checklist will involve your daily activities that you need to carry out in that your farm or in that your business. It will contain the activities of each day or each week, depending on how you want to go about keeping your records. Maybe daily record keeping or weekly record keeping, but we advise you do daily record keeping so that you may not lose some information. Now we have organic input form, a form with specific fields to fill in for every purchase of organic inputs. Talk about the product name. What is the product name? Who is the supplier? What is the organic certificate number? The date it was applied to the field. Remember that we said that this certification that we usually do it every year is a yearly affair. It's not once in a lifetime something. So the inspectors will come to inspect your farm every year to determine whether you are adhering to standard. So this will ensure all necessary information for organic certification is captured from the start. So we say that these low-tech solutions, they work because they are robust, yes, depending on how you decide to go about it. They require minimal investment. With just 200 Naira, you can go and buy a notebook, and they're not dependent on technology. You don't need internet access that might fail at any moment. They provide reliable foundation for building the details, yes, because you are keeping your note. They're helping you to take note even on the spot record so that you will not forget any even tiny information that may be detrimental to your business in the long run. So if you have these things by your side and you take note, and even as you observe certain things in your farm, it will help you to build a detailed, auditable trail that will make it easy for the certifiers when they come, and even easy for you too. So you don't start rushing around, checking for where Mohammed gets the receipt or where Salisu gets the invoice. All right. Do you have any question? Do we have any question? The class is unusually quiet today. What is going on? Okay, Salisu, please kindly unmute
Yes.
yourself.
Okay, ma. My question is that can we use only Excel package, Excel
No,
sheet?
we are talking, these are just simple packages, simple platforms that
Okay.
you can use. No. There are other ones you can subscribe for, you pay for. Even those ones, they have all the information you need. They can help you track
Okay.
whatever information. Yes, there are many of them. Don't worry, we'll get there when we talk about try to introduce
Okay.
the digital tools we can use. There are so many of
Okay.
them,
Because
both those
even
with subscription and those that are free.
okay, because even the Excel has some the features of like the chart, the bar chart, the pie chart, and that's why I said if we can use Excel.
Sorry?
I say even the Excel has chart, the bar chart, the pie chart, and some features that you can use primarily maybe at the start.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yes. Okay, we can use it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to unmute yourself and talk. Yeah, Hanasu, Khalid, please go ahead.
Yes, ma. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Ma, you forgot your class exercise. And thank you for the answer you gave. You gave me the answer you gave to my previously asked question. I was muted then. I wanted thanking you before before
Okay,
you
you're
proceed.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, about the class exercise. So I asked three things that will do to start our record keeping.
Yes, ma'am.
So who can tell us what are the three things you will do?
Ma, I would like to mention the three things to include in my record keeping.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Go ahead, we are hearing you.
Yes, ma, since I'm into fishery, managing my small fish pond, I think the three things I would like to include in my records are feeding and growth. That's the feed type and quantity of feed. Sometimes I don't even measure the quantity of feed. I'll just be feeding them till they are full. So I would like to be measuring the quantity of feed to be given to them, the feeding schedule. Sometimes during cold season, they don't respond to feeds much because they don't like cold season. So I would like to change the schedule during cold season, and during hot season, I would like to adjust. Then monitoring their growth. Sometimes there used to be cannibalism in my pond. The big ones will eat up the small ones. So I would like to uh, find another small pond that I will sort them out and monitor their growth. Then mortality record. Still under the feeding and growth, I would like to be keeping record of the fish I lost in the process of raising the raising the catfish. And I would like to make sure that there is reduction in the mortality rate. Then the stocking density, stocking details, the number of fingerlings, the date of stocking and source of fingerlings. Then I think water quality and management. Sometimes I don't even know why. I will just wake up and realize that 2 to 3 of my fish are dead. And I think the problem is with the water. Sometimes I don't even have enough money that I will have to use water parameter or water exchange log that I will know the quality of the water and manage. So I think these are the three things I would like to include uh, in my record keeping. The things I would like to include in my record in my fish pond.
Wow, that's
Thank you.
fantastic. That's fantastic. Well done. So we look forward to hearing from you. Maybe in the platform much later. Please unmute yourself and tell us. Modupe, can you unmute yourself and talk to us? Maybe she's having network issue.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, doctor. No, the host is there to unmute me. They've just unmuted me.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, doctor. Yes. Just like Khalid mentioned, some of the things I would also like to keep record of in my business, which I discovered that I have failed in all this while, is my financial record, which has to do with all my financial expenses on the farm, both for integration of the livestock and the crop together. And then my operational record, which encompasses everything Khalid mentioned, except for the crop aspect, which has to do with my planting schedule, my application, fertilizer application, manual application, and all the likes like that. And then my legal compliance, which I see that it is very, very important. Those are the three things: my company registration, my certification, and all the likes like that. Those are the three things I am saying that I must put in place
That's
while
awesome.
scaling my business
Wow,
for
that's
a
good.
good setup.
That's good. Keep it up. Okay, can
Thank
we
you,
hear from
ma.
Salisu? You're welcome. Salisu, please, can you unmute and tell us?
Okay, ma, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, ma, before you start recording, you have to even ask yourself of the objectives. What are the objectives of the recording? What are the objectives you want to achieve when you started recording your business? What are the objectives? The purpose of record keeping, and also the financial aspect, just as my colleague said, the financial record, all the expenditures, all the expenses that you incur in your farm, you have to record them. The inflow, the outflow, and the rest of it. And what method are you going to apply in recording? Is it the manual method or the digital method? And also, each method you adopt in recording, you have to be consistent. You have to keep it consistent. You have to be consistent in that method you adopt in recording. So those are the three things I think I have to
Wow, that's
take in
beautiful.
consideration.
That's beautiful. See,
Thank
one
you.
thing I want us to take home from today's training is that we know and we know and we know that these records aren't just for your own memory. I'm happy that some of us are following with what you are doing. The records we are talking about, they're not just for your own memory. They are your proof. They are your proof for organic certification. And you must show where your input comes from, what you did, what you have done, the quantity you have harvested, and the ones you sold and why you didn't sell the remaining. In fact, the records are simply your passport to being certified organic and selling at a premium. You know, whatever business you're going into, the endpoint, your objective is to make profit. Yes, you want to get certified. And what is the essence of that certification? To make more profits, to sell at a higher price, to make, to sell at a premium price. Now, I'm still seeing your hands, but I'm going to ask the next question. Our time is almost up or is up. Who is the best record keeper? Who is the best record keeper? When you say this person is good or better or best, who is the best record keeper? To you, who do you think is the best record keeper? What will make you a good record keeper? Okay, let me put it that way. Okay, so kindly unmute yourself because your hand has been up. Chisholm, are you still with us? Wow, maybe her network is not right. Okay, Deborah, kindly unmute yourself and tell
Hello,
us.
I'm here. I'm calling from mute.
Okay,
Hello,
okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. To me, the best record keeper is someone that keeps record of their stocks, of their sales record, of what they are doing in their business in totality, to keep it not just for their own benefit, but for certification purpose as well. And also someone who chose a particular type of record keeping, whether it's a low tech or tech record keeping, and is consistent with it. It's not if you are writing in a book today, tomorrow you write in another form. You keep, sorry for the dog. You will be consistent in a particular type. If you are into recording in Excel, you stay in that Excel and continue with it so that your record will have a good history. when you look at it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Deborah, can you unmute yourself and tell us? Deborah, we are waiting. Our
All
time
right,
is
ma.
up. All right.
Yes. A good record keeper is a person that keep both the inputs, sales record, and expenditure record. And a good record keeper is consistent over time, regardless of how busy the operation might be on farm. The person stay glued to keeping record for all probably expenditure, the sales record. So the person is being consistent without any break.
Beautiful.
Thank
Okay.
you, ma.
Mariam, please kindly unmute and tell us. Mariam, kindly unmute and tell us. Okay, moving on. Maybe she's having
Okay, I couldn't get to unmute myself on time.
okay.
Good day, ma. Thank you, ma, for the chance to speak. I actually have a question, but let me just add my little contribution. I think a
Okay,
good
go ahead.
record
Ask your question first.
Okay, ma. So my question is like for a business like mine, is it in standard record keeping? Is it required of me to put down the name of each and every customer that patronizes my business on a daily basis, or I can just go ahead and put out the record of all the product I'm able to sell products together with the total revenue? Or is it required of me to put down the name of each
Of
and
your
every
customers,
customer?
yes, for
Yes.
traceability, for traceability's sake. Yes. It's
Okay,
very
ma.
important.
Okay. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. I want to ask us a pertinent question. I'm still seeing your hands, don't worry. We have seen the low-tech solution that we highlighted. So I want you to tell us how each feature can help you in your business. Each of the features, those low-tech solutions that we highlight, I think there are 5 of them. How do you think that it can help you in your business? Or they can't help you, whether they can or cannot? So now I want to call Fortune. Please kindly unmute and tell us.
Okay, thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome.
Well, for me, I would rather do a combination of the low tech and the other one. Having records in a book, it's more like you're on the field and you have this book, and then maybe much later when you go home, you can use your system and impute it all. So I think a combination of the two it's like super. You don't, even if you get to lose informations on one, you have a backup maybe on the other one. So I think a combination of the two is really good. Then in addition, like I raised my hand during the former question. Yeah, so I think it's also important to take note of those little expenditures that we often count as nothing, something like buying binding wires, all those small things. We may tend to take it out of our own purse. It's also important to have like an account dedicated for the business. Whatever goes out and whatever comes in should be properly documented. Then in my own case also, from all the teachings today, I'm also thinking of like taking records of pest and disease infestation. Something like tomato that I planted, I know that at some point I lost a lot of stands as a result of disease infestation. Yeah, so I think I would also add a column of pest and disease infestation losses made from pest and diseases, and also the inputs that was put in to tackle it and all the methods and all that I put in to tackle it. Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. Okay. Ngozi, can you please kindly unmute and talk to us? Do we still have time? I want to give us an assignment. Or maybe after the assignment, you can now tell us. Just hold on a bit, because I can see that some participants are leaving. Maybe they have other engagements. Can I go ahead? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you
Can I
can,
go
ma'am.
ahead? Just give us
Yes.
assignment for, yeah, all right. Okay. Though I've dropped it in the chat box. I would like us to prepare an input log record. It's already in the chat box. Input log record or sales record. And a caption for use in the next section. Prepare an input log record or sales record. Give it a caption, that is, give it a name. We'll talk about it in the next session. Have you gotten that? Have you gotten that? Hello, are you with me?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. We are with you, ma.
Okay. So we have gotten that, Abby. We'll talk about it in the next class. So if you are true with it, you can also drop it on our platform, WhatsApp platform. You can drop it there. Okay, back to our former question now. Who else wants to tell us the particular low-tech solution that they want to, that will help them in their business? Deborah, I thought you have said something. Why is your hand still up? Deborah? Okay. Okay, Fortune? Onyeka, I thought you have said something too. Okay. Ngozi, please unmute yourself and talk to us.
Good afternoon.
Good
Can you hear
afternoon.
me?
Yeah, we are hearing you now.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Hey, I can't even hear them. This
Good afternoon.
network.
We are hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead. We are hearing
Good
you.
afternoon. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Hey.
Yes, we are hearing you. Go ahead. Hello. Wow, sorry, we've lost her. Okay, Samotu, please, kindly unmute and talk to us. Wow. Wow. Okay, I think our time is up. Okay, Salisu, can you unmute? You're the last person now. Then we'll call it a day.
Okay, ma, to me, I will use the simple spreadsheet because I can use my computer and I can use my mobile phone. I'll be sharing anything, any record I take, I will share it to my email in case of crash. Even if my phone, yeah, I will share it to my email. If I work on the exam, I will copy it and paste it on the email. In case if my phone or my system crash, I will refer back to my email and continue from there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Wow. I want to appreciate everyone here, for taking your time to attend. It's for your own good too. But I want to reinforce that, all the low-tech solutions that we've highlighted, you don't need to use all of them. Just pick one, the one that suits you best, the one that suits your business. Just pick one and use it. All right, we'll call it a day at this point. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely day ahead. And bye.
Thank you very much, ma. We really appreciate. Thank you for the lecture. And all the participants, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time, your energy. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Bye.
Yes, ma, you are the host. You can log out. Immediately you log out, everyone will be able to log out.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do that now. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.